on with Matt Sauvage of the James Monroe Mavericks. First of all, and I'll do it this way, I want to get a word from you on your seniors. You got 8 of them.
Yeah.
But, and I think I asked you this question before. Why is Eli Allen State Player of the Year in your opinion? I mean, still it has to be voted and everything. Yeah. There's a lot of good candidates. Any of those guys could win.
Yeah.
Why do you think he is?
You know, and there's a ton of good players in the state. I mean, it's crazy how many good players are in West Virginia. But you know, I'm biased. I mean, I'll just be honest. I'm biased with Eli. You know, I see it day in and day out. And you know, as a coach, I take it for granted a lot what he can do. But
his teammates say he does it all.
Yeah, you know, and there's 2 reasons that may, in my opinion, make him State Player of the Year. And one is, if anybody's ever watched him play, they would agree that he should be. You know, because he shows it night in, night out. But my biggest reason is because of what he does on the court to make everybody around him better. You know, he makes every player on the court better. And so, you know, to me, that's what makes a great player, is not just their statistics, but what they do for the players around them.
Josh Burks has been your main defender throughout his career.
Yes.
Talk about him.
You know, Josh, I love the kid. So Josh, you know, he came in as a freshman playing good defense. I mean, that was his thing. And we knew it from the get-go. You could watch it in practice. And the biggest thing is he's accepted that role, and he loves it. Like he's bought into it. And so, you know, I can't say enough about him on that side of it. But this year, coming into this year, we knew that we were going to have more offense out of him. And I think he knew that. And so he's been able to step up and really provide that role.
He might lead you in threes, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Colin Fox is the guy that kind of came into his own the state tournament last year, or at least, you know, start putting this up on the radar. And he's really filled a role for you this year.
Yeah, you know, and we needed that role. And, you know, Colin played a role last year, but it's a little bit differently, especially on the offensive end. And so, you know, we moved our guards around a little bit, and you know, he played 4 a lot for us last year, and actually he's more of the 2 position now for us, 2 to 3, and so it's been a big change for him. But you know, he's been able to step into that role and pretty much excel all year at it.
Vaughn Hopkins is the guy that came over a couple of years ago from Greenbrier East, and you told me he came out last year and quit. And I think he probably regrets that right now, but he's really, you lost Cam Thomas. You're big, and he's kind of helped fill that role right there. I mean, a lot of rebounds tonight, and just great player.
Oh, yeah. And we didn't know who was going to fill that role. You know, we were trying to figure that out in the off season, and you know, we finally figured out that when he came out, we were like, hey, we got something there, and you know, see you, McKinley, and it's one of those things where last year, you know, he only came to 1 day of tryouts, and so this year I said, Juan, you gonna stick around?
Not only did he stick around, he started.
Yeah, you know, and we told him from the get-go, we didn't know what was going to happen with him. We didn't know if he's going to be able to play for us or if he's going to be sitting on the bench. You know, we didn't know. And, you know, he started for us pretty much, other than that little concussion he had there for a little while, he started pretty much every game for us and played a big role for us.
Owen Jackson, kind of the key reserve. He's like a six-man, to use the old term, six-man. Yeah. He's a really kind of guy that you can put in, fill different roles, different positions when he can sub in for just about any of your starters.
Yeah, you know, we play him 3 through 5, depending on you know what.
He's not going to run the points, what you're saying.
No. And he could possibly go at the 2 if we needed him to, but he's more 3 through 5. And you know, Owen, I told him coming into this season that we needed him to play big this year. You know, we needed him, and you know, he could start for us, but we like what he brings off the bench. You know,
he's got like a guy that waits his turn too.
Yes, and he's great with that. And you know, but he's coming in, and I think he's got the 4th or 5th most minutes on the team. You know, and he's playing big minutes.
Career high tonight with 14, I believe.
Yeah, I knew he had something like that. I hadn't looked at it yet, and that's what he needs. I mean, he's deserved.
Your other seniors, talk a little bit about each one of those guys.
Yeah, you know.
Name and
you know, Braxton Charlton. You know, he's been with us, and he took off last year, and so he came back out this year. And you know, I tell everybody, what we have in practice is what we'll have in a game. You know, and if we don't have what we have in practice, we won't have what we have in a game. And you know, at the beginning of the season, Braxton had to play some big minutes for us. You know, they've let off here a little bit lately, but you know, Braxton's been huge in that role for us. And so, That's been great to have. You got Evan Hunter. He took off last year also, came back out this year, and he's kind of in that similar role. But Evan here towards the end of the season started to get a lot better with it and started to play, how we play, and so he's back in that same role with Braxton sort of, and coming into that. You have Ethan Godot. Ethan was on the team last year, and Ethan's great kid. Love Ethan, and he comes in because he's going to play more of the 4 or 5, and so in practice that's great to have him out there in that role for us.
Do you allow yourself to think this is your last run with these guys you started as freshmen?
Nah. I try not to think about that right now to see what's going to happen now, because these boys are special. This senior group's been a special group to me, and been a special group to all of us coaches. And so, I'm not going to talk about it till it's over, whenever that is.
Well, maybe on a Saturday in mid-March.
That'd be the most beautiful time.
All right, Matt, I appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Appreciate it.